session on April 24, 2018, 10 a.m. Commissioners Court in the County Administration Building, 200 South Texas Avenue, Suite 106. First item on the agenda is invocation of pledge of allegiance and all ethos. Father, we thank you for your love and mercy to us, and we thank you, Father, for living in a country that we can have to enjoy the freedoms that we have. I want to ask you, Father, that you be with our first responders and police officers as they do their dangerous world. Father, give us wisdom that we make decisions for the court this morning. I ask all the things in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one individual. Second item on the agenda is call for citizens' input and/or concerns. Hearing none, we'll consider and take action on agenda items 3 through 22. Proclamation 18-028 recognizing State Federation of Garden Clubs for work in the community. Move approval. Motion made, seconded, discussion. Is anybody here to receive this today? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 4 is Proclamation 18-029 declaring May 19, 2018 as Archiepiscopal Coronation and Enthronement Day. Second. Motion made, second. Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 5 is Proclamation 18-030 declaring May 20, 2018 as Holy Convocation and Pentecost Day. Second. Motion made, second. Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No motion carries. Number 6 is Resolution 18-006 honoring Tom Quarles for his service to the Brazos County Expo. Move approval. Second. Motion made, second. Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. I'm going to get you to come up. We already voted on that.
Let's see your neck brace removed.
You want me to come up there?
No, we'll come
Okay.
over there. Go ahead, get everybody to sign that. I wanted to first give you a little bit of history of when we hired Tom on for the Expo. The Expo bond issue passed in 2000 by a slim margin, but it passed. And there were a lot of naysayers out there who criticized the Expo and even the idea of building the Expo, and said that it was going to be a black hole, and you know, it would be money poured down the drain and it would never be successful. And I mean, that was all in the papers. And so when we came to the point that we were getting ready to try to build the thing, we put out applications for applications for the director. And Randy and I were on the search committee, and we had some applications come in. Jim Bezerkowitz, who was on that original, the committee that helped pass the bond issue, called Randy and I and said, hey, there's a guy over in Madison County that retired with 20 years from the Houston Livestock Show, and he'd really be a good fit for what we need to try to bring this thing up to out of the ground. And so I told Jim, well, if you know him, call him and see if he's interested, and see if you can get him to come over and talk to us. And he was, at the time, was working for somebody else, but he wasn't he had showed some interest, but he had a good job and really didn't need it, and I wasn't sure that whether he was going to actually take on the responsibility and all the headaches that it was going to be. But anyway, we sat down and we interviewed everybody, and it was obvious that Tom was the top candidate, and so we went into an executive session, and Tom came in, and we talked with the court, and everybody was very happy with what we saw, and so we left it up to Randy to make the negotiation with Tom to get him hired on. And if any of y'all knew Randy, he didn't like to spend county money very much, so he was pretty tighter than I am. So anyway, he negotiates with Tom, and Mazurkiewicz called me about a week later, and he said, "Dwayne, I want to tell you, Tom's going to turn that job down." I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, he's not comfortable that he's going to get the support from the Commissioner's Court for this thing to work." And he said, "You need to call him and talk to him." So I called Tom, and we talked a while, and he told me, he said, "I don't think y'all recognize what it's going to take to make that thing operate." And he said, "I don't want to get into trying to build that thing up and it not be successful." He told me, he assured me, "I'll never ask for anything that I don't need out there, but if I need something, I need some support to try to get the thing done." And so, I was talking to him on the phone, and and here I know Randy pretty well, and I know how hard it's going to be to convince him of spending any money that we hadn't really already set in place. We had no idea when we set the budget what it was going to take. I mean, it was just kind of we drew it out of the air and came up with something, and so I was talking to Tom on the phone, and we were talking, and I thought, I really don't have a whole lot of choice. If we're going to convince Tom to come to work for us, I don't have but one choice. And I put my arm behind my back and crossed my fingers and rolled my eyes and said, "Tom, I think I can get that done." Fortunately, Tom couldn't see me doing all that, so he accepted. But I think we've done all right. We've managed to get the money that was needed and really nothing more. But you've done a great job out there, Tom. And if it hadn't been for you and for all that you've poured your heart into it, So I appreciate the 11 and a half years that you've spent out there and for everything you've done for the Expo. We wouldn't be where we are today if it hadn't been for your leadership. I want to read the proclamation, or resolution, I guess it is. Whereas Tom Quarles was hired as Director of Special Events Facilities on July 24th, 2006. He brought with him 20 years' experience serving as Assistant General Manager of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And whereas Tom Quarles was instrumental in planning and the development process for Brazos County Exposition Complex. Whereas Tom Quarles was in charge of construction projects for Phase 2 and Phase 3 expansions for the Exposition Complex. And whereas the Exposition Complex had 167 events over 362 event days in 2017 with an economic impact of 100 jobs and $10.5 million, that was last year. Whereas during his tenure overseeing the Expo Complex, he served as Hotel Occupancy Tax Committee, served as General Manager for the Brazos Valley Fair and Rodeo, and now therefore be it resolved that the Commissioners Court of Brazos County takes this opportunity to honor Tom Quarles and thank him for his years of service to Brazos County and to its citizens, and to wish him the very best in his retirement. Duly adopted this by vote, this Commissioners Court, Brazos County, on the 24th day of April 2018. Thank you. And here's a small. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that. I just want you to know that this has been a real pleasure to have served as general manager, to have an opportunity to hire staff, and I've got several back here. The leader, which in this case was me, is only as good as your staff is. And I've had a great staff. I've been blessed with a great staff, and I want to acknowledge that to start with, because it's not a one-man show. This is a group of us, and there's a lot of them that have either been there almost the full time that I've been there, or they've been there for a long period of time. So I just want everybody to know that. Those of you that know me know that either I sometimes, probably very little, but sometimes I don't have a lot to say, and sometimes I say way too much. And I promise you, I'm not, I want to show my appreciation, so I am going to say a few more words, but I promise you I'm not going to say way too much today, because I have a tendency to get started, and it's kind of hard to stop me. But I want you to know that, as I said before, it's been a real pleasure for me to have had the opportunity. The experience has been tremendous. The Brazos County, when I say they, I'm talking about Brazos County, the county judge and county commissioners, which I think the world of, past and present, have done everything that they promised me that they would do, as long as and this was part of the deal to start with, as long as I could justify what I needed. And hopefully I've been able to do that along with the staff. I've been able to justify all the things that we needed. I'll just tell you real quickly, I think, and Judge Peters may not remember this, and I don't remember whether I mentioned it to Judge Peters or Judge Sims at the time, but I told them that the last thing that I wanted to do is to be able to is to take the job and to go out there on a brand new facility to pull it out of the ground, put all the parts and pieces together, and get it up and running, and then market the heck out of it, and for it to be successful. The last thing I want to do is be able to go there and to not get the support that I felt like I had to have to be able to make it successful. And Judge alluded to that, as he mentioned. I'm sure he did have to swallow big. That's a big promise, and you've got to put a lot of faith in a person to be able to tell them that. But I can tell you right now that the Commissioner's Court, the people that have made the decision, there have been times that we have had to have hearings and meetings, and I have had to, and rightfully so, I have had to justify everything that I've asked for and that we've done out there. But they have come through. They have come through, and they've honored what they told me they would do, and I'm so thankful for that. But I just want you to know it's a blessing. It's been a great experience, and you start out when you're young, you graduate from school, and you never think, it's so far away in most cases, you never think about the day you retire or the day you're going to retire, and because it has a tendency to go in a hurry. And these 11 and a half years have gone in a hurry, just like the rest of my life have. And but I want you to know that this is something I would never. I feel like this is hometown. I've never moved from this area and want to stay in this area. And I know that the Expo, if it continues to grow the way it's grown, and by the way, this should be the best year we've ever had again. It's been awesome, and we just need to keep working hard, raise the bar high, and we expect a lot out of our employees, and they deliver. And we just need to make sure that we keep it that way. Anyway, I'm done, I promise, and thank you very much. I appreciate this.
Thank you.
Tommy, you gonna retire again from somewhere, or is this gonna be it?
No, I don't think so. Unless it's a cow business, which I'm in, have been for a long time, and if I don't retire from that, I'm gonna go broke.
I'll tell you that I think that I bet as close to the Expo probably as as most people here, I want you to know that, how much I appreciate as a being liaison to the Expo Center, the job you've done, brought from infancy to where it is today. And not only have you done a great job out there, but got us where we are, but you're leaving it in good hands. You've got a great staff. You put together a great staff, and they're all sitting back there with you, and I know that they'll take over, and it won't miss a lick. But we appreciate everything that you've done. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah, and I want to mention that there's a retirement reception May 30th at 3 p.m. That's Tom's, is that? How did they get in there? We all knew that. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock at the expo. All right. We voted.
Yes, we voted.
Okay. All right. Number 7 is request from Information Technology Department to sign the letter of authorization for FiberLight, allowing them to publicly announce the IP addresses and autonomous system number recently acquired by Brazos County. Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 8 is approval of Diners Club credit card to be issued to Road and Bridge employee Gary Arnold with a limit of $1,000. Second. Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
That's going to Gary.
All opposed? None. Motion carries. Number 9 is approval of assignment of items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 13 on contract 17-284 herbicides and surfactants from CWC Chemical to Crop Productions Services, Inc. Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 10 is permission to advertise 18-121 hot mix asphalt.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 12 is acceptance of final plat for Meadows. Number 11 is renewal of IQ number 18-132R portable toilet rentals from Texas Commercial Waste. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12 is acceptance of final plat of Meadows Phase 2, lots 1 and 2, block 1, and lot 1, block 2 being 2.121 acres out of 4.121 acres out of Plymouth Drainage Survey A-201 and the Andrew Miller Survey A-165, Brazos County, Texas, City of College Station, ETJ, sites located precinct 1. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 13 is request permission to enter private property owned by Stephen M. Johnson located on Shin Road. A project will require county to construct a temporary detour across the property to accommodate the replacement of roadway culvert in Shin Road, sites located precinct 1. Move approval. Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 14 is request permission to enter private property owned by Todd Huckabee located on Ward Road. Project will require county to construct a temporary detour across property to accommodate the replacement of wooden bridge with culvert pipes on Ward Road, sites located precinct 4. Move approval. Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 15 is request permission to enter private property owned by Gene Walton Vilas on Ward Road. Project will require the county to remove dirt, debris, vegetation to improve drainage, sites located precinct 1. Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 16 is request permission to enter private property owned by Delton D. Yarborough, 6823 McCrae Lane, in order to saw cut concrete driveway and replace with larger water pipe to increase the drainage flow. Driveway will be restored to existing conditions. Sites located precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 17, request permission to enter private property owned by David Edward Baycott, 6845 McRae Lane, in order to saw cut concrete driveway to replace with water pipe to increase the drainage flow. Driveway to be restored to existing conditions. Sites located precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 18 is request permission to enter private property owned by Donald Ray Matthews, 6867 McRae Lane, in order to saw cut concrete driveway and replace with larger pipe to increase the drainage flow. Driveways will be restored to existing conditions. Sites located precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. And number 19 is expenditure journal entries, 030209 and 040035 through 040036.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 20 is budget amendments. Budget amendments FY 17/18, 29.1 through 29.4.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 21 is personnel change of status. We need to remove Zachary Rogers from the juvenile detention portion.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to approve the personnel action with the exception of Zachary Rogers. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 22 is payment of claims. Claims to be paid by Brazos County. Claim number 8003093 through claim number 8003337.
Move approval.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 23 is monthly report submitted, is an acknowledgement of monthly report submitted in March of 2018. Number 24 is sheriff's report on inmate population. Sheriff.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Our peak in the last 24 hours was 614. 516 of those are males, 98 are females. We have 40 with electronic monitors and 13 pending.
Okay. Thank you, Sheriff. Number 25 is announcement of interest items and possible future agenda topics. Hearing none. Number 26, call for citizens' input and our concerns, and I think we've got Mark Paget, come on up. Just P-A-G-E-T-T, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm a member of Highway Heroes, which is an interest group made up of both faculty and students that are here today that, from both Blinn and A&M. And we've been looking at a lot of construction around the area. And we think that probably the biggest problem with all the construction is not necessarily that there is construction, because it needs to happen, but the time and timing of which it's done. We would urge that you, when you're dealing with private contractors, that you keep them accountable for the time in which they said that they will finish, and the budgets as well. Thank you.
Good. All right. Thank you. As you know, we can't respond back, on this, but thank you.
It's always our goal to keep them on time and under budget.
No question. Any other citizen input and or concerns? If none, we'll adjourn. Thank you.